It's the Future Print Virtual Summit. It's day one of the event. Day one is all about young guns in print. So we're talking about a lot of challenges and opportunities for young people in the industry, but we're also showcasing really interesting and accomplished people in the print industry who happen to fall into the young guns category. And there's a lot to learn from the people we're hearing from today. And we're really lucky to be joined by Adrian Palmer, who is editor-in-chief of Screen Printing and Big Picture magazines. And Adrian's going to talk to us about becoming a brand ambassador, and it's going to be a really exciting session. Thanks so much for joining us, Adrian.
Thanks, Karis. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. As you mentioned, I'm the editor-in-chief of Big Picture and Screen Printing magazines, and I'm here to discuss how to use social media to promote your business, which also encapsulates being a brand ambassador. So the majority of your customers are on their phones and computers now more than ever, and it's not just for personal use, but for professional as well. So why not use this opportunity to focus on social media to accelerate your business? So here I'm going to share my top 6 tips for social media success. So first, you have your ACE. This will be my way to do transition so we don't forget our numbers. So 1, ACE, create accounts for all social platforms. You're probably on 1 or 2, but I suggest having presence on all of them. So Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and even TikTok, especially if you have a really creative team. And then you can see what gains the most traction. So the social platforms you use to build your brand really depend on who your clients are and what they're using. So you may be spending all your time on Facebook when really your clients are on Instagram. You can then focus your main efforts on that specific outlet and then repost on other platforms. Sometimes that's a simple copy and paste. From our experience with Big Picture, Instagram and LinkedIn are the most popular tools in the wide format space, and Facebook and Instagram are the most used tools for the screen printing industry. But you'll be able to find out in a few months where to focus your efforts based on the interaction you receive. So that leads me to my second tip. Follow and interact with as many influential industry people as possible. This includes experts, consultants, media outlets, associations, events, other printers, brands, your clients, and who you want your clients to be. So this will not only help increase your followers and engagement on your own page, but you're also going to gain a wider network and really a deeper insight into the industry. Honestly, a great way to do this would be, for example, go to Big Picture's Instagram account, which is Big Picture Mag, and look at our followers and who we follow, because 99% of our interactions are with industry people. Say the other 1% would be my parents. Once you start building your follower list, your search function is going to really start to look more like the print space you're working in. And, another great tip, most times when you follow someone, they're going to follow you back. But remember, it doesn't stop at a simple follow. You really have to interact with other pages by liking, commenting, and resharing posts. And make sure that those posts really align with your company's interests and goals. So my third tip is about visibility. Top professionals in the industry are really focusing on this. They're brand ambassadors, like we're talking about today. They're collaborators. They are social media leaders. They're attending the major shows, when we could in person, and obviously now virtually. And, they're not just walking the show floor or, attending the event. They're really participating in sessions. They're networking and sharing, what they've learned or seen at the end of the day on their social accounts. They're providing insight for brands and publications or hopping on industry-related podcasts. They have their own YouTube channels. They have what I like to call, and what I have for myself, personal and professional accounts, personal professional accounts, where the message and voice is theirs. But instead of sharing personal events, maybe like a family birthday or what they did this weekend, they're really sharing thoughts on the industry and recent projects that their team has completed. So they're really leaning in to being this brand ambassador, and they're creating awareness of who they are and what their shop does. And I believe it really positions them as leaders in this industry. And I always say, if your competitors know who you are, that's a really good thing. So if you are the owner, founder, CEO, make sure you are this brand ambassador. Connect with your customers on a one-to-one level. Show them your passion for your work and your product. I suggest using Instagram Story, and we're going to talk a little bit about the question tool specifically to connect with your audience, because it allows you to let them ask questions and then give a direct response from the leader of the company. And I'm going to show you this quick engagement tool in a 7-step process at the end of this presentation. So we'll really get into that a little bit. A great tool. But I do want to say, it doesn't always have to be about you or from you. You're busy. You may not have time to do this every day or every week. So I suggest leveraging those around you. Let your employees take over and show them printing behind the scenes or a live install, and really let them get their hands on this and show you what they can do, as well as the industry. So now on to my 4th tip. If you are new to printing or just launching your print shop, I really suggest that you find your differentiator. So find that differentiator and constantly use that in your social media and brand awareness posts. So what makes you different from your competitor down the street? Is your customer service better than the rest? Do you constantly give back to your community? Do your employees absolutely love working for you and they're genuinely happy to come to work every day? So why should someone come to you? I really feel that the beginners in the business have to find what makes them stand out, and social media is a great tool to do that. So my 5th tip is be honest with your customers and show them who you are and what you're doing. And right now is a really great time to be able to do that. So if you're currently not in business due to restrictions in your state or country, or you have less employees because of the pandemic, let your customers know right away and give them updates on the status of their orders. It's better to let them know up front if the timeline is longer due to the pandemic. And you can use social media as just an informal customer communication tool to get ahead of any of those potential issues with delayed projects. So it's really like a fast, easy, and free way to do damage control. And luckily, we're in this all together, and people are a little bit more understanding if things are slower than usual, because they're probably dealing with it themselves. So my 6th tool, our final tool here, or tip, is try not to get overwhelmed. So again, what makes this time so unique is that we are all in the same situation. Now, most of us are on this virtual conference in our living rooms with our laptop or phone and a pair of headphones. And all you need to communicate with your customers through social media are really those 3 things. I just read Corey Marchesotto, she's a CMO of ELF. She said this in a recent issue of Adweek. She said the creation of content has been totally reimagined and produced virtually at a fraction of the cost. So easy and cheap additions to enhance the video experience, a tripod to hold your phone steady, a ring light. These can cost you as low as $20, each on Amazon. I just purchased a $40 webcam because the camera in my MacBook stopped working, of course, in the middle of the pandemic where it's necessary every day for work calls, and I'm really loving it. So yeah, play to your strengths, leverage your team, even bring in your kids for help. They're extremely knowledgeable and will be happy to be part of your work. So those are my 6 tips for success. And instead of just talking about it, I'm going to show you some of my favorite industry accounts so you can see what similar print service providers are doing. And here you can see if you're interested, I have both my Twitter account for Big Picture and Screen, as well as Big Picture and Screen Printing's Twitter and Instagram accounts. So you can find us on social media. But some brands that I really follow. So Ink Monster, they're in the wide format digital print space. And I know we're not talking specifically about websites today, but I do want to show you theirs because I think that they do such a great job. I go to so many different websites and no one's showing their work. And for me, I want to get to your site and really see what you're all about. So as you can see here, stay healthy, stay safe, get your mask today. They're addressing the pandemic, but they're also selling a product to you. As you can see, they have a video that really shows who they are, what they do, and you get this unique opportunity to go inside their shop and kind of get the vibe of, the people who are working there. So immediately request a quote. And so you just go right to it and you can see how much a project will cost and you can automatically talk to somebody there. Immediately, their services they provide, so there's no questions about what they do. I actually, right here, I was in Denver a couple years for vacation, and I saw this building wrap in person. It's really cool. So their services here, fabric printing, obviously what they're doing for the masks, they're using for the masks. Again, our work, request a quote, the face masks, really big right now. Again, showing your clients, this is huge. They have really big names and they're showcasing them. And this is their way to say, don't you want to be part of this too? And look who we're doing work for. This is a 3D visual tour. So you can actually go through their shop, look in different rooms, see what people are doing. Let's get started. Don't forget, you can request a quote from us today. Testimonials are so great to have on your website or your social media accounts because you're really hearing from their clients. And then get social, which I'll show you their Twitter account because I think they really do a great job with not only showing their products that they do, but as you can see, they have a great description of exactly who they are. They have their website there. And you can see here, so their pinned news is about their 15th year in business. And Reed Silverman, who is the owner of Ink Monster, he's on their local news channel. And so he's, again, being that brand ambassador. You can see that from them, probably Instagram is their best tool. And so they just reposted a picture from their Instagram. So not a lot of work, just an extra click. Getting ready for a big presentation. So again, Reed is showing him, he's a brand ambassador and he's also looked at it as a business leader. And so he's sharing strategic planning. Again, videos they're using. So they're using so many tools here. So I suggest taking a look at them as a leader in the social media industry. And so you can see a leader in the digital print industry by using social media. Another great use of Instagram here, Black Crow Studios. Tracy Heiner is the owner here, and they focus on high-end wall coverings in the digital print space. And I wanted to show you Black Crow Studios' Instagram page because not only do they really showcase their amazing work, but they're showing how they respond to things that are going on in the country and in the world right now. And for a lot of the younger generation, that's really important to see the values of shop, and they're more likely to be your client if they can really see those values and align with themselves. So as you see, they're not just posting their work, which is incredible to see, and I really suggest that you do that. But they're also talking about social issues, and so I think that's incredibly important today. I'll just scroll through some of these. So it's visually appealing, but also you can have a connection. And I want to show you Legion Graphics Instagram because they use the story tool really well. And so you can not only have your stories right here on your homepage, but you can also use these highlight reels. And so if you click on time lapse, you'll be able to see they are actually doing a time-lapse photo of an installation of what looks like it may be a gas station or a convenience store. And so these are really easy for you to do. You just set up your camera and record the video, and then you can post. And this lives on their page forever. And it's just a fun way to show a little bit of behind the scenes work. And you can see here, this is a screenshot from their website. Again, all of the great projects that they do, there's no question about what they're able to do at all if you're your client wanting to know. Okay, so I told you earlier on that I was going to share how to use the question tool on Instagram. So I did some screenshots, and this first screenshot here is Big Picture's homepage. So you can see fresh artists that just posted something. You can see our story reel here. And in order to use the question tool, you're going to want to click on the top left-hand side. It's a camera icon. So you click there, it goes to our second screen. And there, it's basically just your camera. And so you can take a picture, or you can go to the bottom left and you can go to your camera roll. And there you'll be able to choose from any picture that is on your iPhone. Then you can go to, I just picked a screenshot of Big Picture's website, and you'll want to, I think my face is in front of it, but if you want to move where my head is during this presentation, you can see at the top right-hand side, there's a square with a smiley face on it. And so you click on that. And then a bunch of different options show up for you. So in your post, you can add your location, you can tag someone. So maybe you want to tag your manufacturer, say you use a certain media type or a printer and you want to tag them. You can do a hashtag. The GIFs are really fun. You can do challenges, countdowns. So there's a lot of really fun tools here to make it really interactive with your audience. But today we're going to do the question tool. So you click on question, and this icon pops up, and you are going to actually type in where it says, ask me a question. And so just for this exercise, I did, what content would you like to see on bigpicture.net? And so you get your own little, where you can type everything here. And so you type in the question, and then you're going to want to send to. And I suggest sending it to your entire story. Oops. And then I'm going to just end the screen here now. We'll go back to myself. So really, once you send that, it goes out to your entire audience, and you'll get a notification if someone's answered your question. After that, you can post and share again, and then share that with your audience, or you can really capture all of that and see what your audience is saying, and that can better your business. So those are my 6 tips. I hope you find them useful. At the end of the day, really just try to have fun. And remember, these are free tools to stay competitive. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. An easy way to find me is on Twitter at Adrian_BigPic. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrian. That was really, really great. And, I loved those examples that you shared. I think the examples you shared really showed that it's a perfect opportunity to, you know, showcase the heart and the personality of your business. And I like that you shared the website as well, because it's not enough to just have the website. You need to use that, and have social media as kind of an extension of that. So I think those are really, really great examples. And it's true that nowadays it's really not optional to have that presence on social media. You really need to kind of be in it to win it. And but some businesses, maybe smaller businesses, or it's people that aren't necessarily that tech savvy, might be a little bit overwhelmed by thinking, oh, I've got to be on all the social channels and put in those tools all into play. What about people that might want to start small, either at the beginning or just maybe be ramping up their presence a bit? Maybe they've got a bit more time with what the current pandemic, the current circumstances. What's your kind of advice for starting small and maybe working up a bit with social media?
Sure. Yeah. If you're a bit overwhelmed, which it can be, especially when there are so many different platforms out there, I suggest just doing what you're comfortable with. Whatever you're using on for your personal, if maybe that's Facebook, and you're just used to that tool already, then start there, and then you can build. So yeah, there's no reason to like rush into it all. I mean, a big reason that I say that it's important to be on all different platforms, because I know that there are a lot of people who maybe go to Twitter. That's what they go to, and when they don't see you on Twitter, well, that's it. Maybe they're not going to go that extra step. I'm not saying that that's right, but that may be what they do. And so just to have that presence, and then maybe even put in your descriptor, hey, find us on Facebook. It will be best. So yeah, if you're a bit overwhelmed and you're just starting out, do what works for you, and you can cultivate that. And at least that way you're going to be able to work on it and get those tools for yourself until you do feel comfortable to expand. And like I said, ask somebody for help, like your kids or somebody who is in your life that is, obsessed with social media. It's not going to feel like work to them if you ask them like, hey, can you teach me how to do like the best hashtag or something? So I just say, definitely reach out and start small if you want.
Yeah. And that's such great advice, to kind of reach out to people who maybe know a little bit more about it, use it a bit more frequently, and particularly, younger people who maybe are a bit more native to social media. They've grown up, with so many social media channels kind of bombarding every aspect of their lives.
Right. I mean, even for TikTok, that's something that somebody asked me the other day to talk about that, and I have to do my research. That's just another thing that's coming onto the scene that I need to know about, and I need to do my best to learn about. But it's not native to me, so it's working towards those things and making sure whatever it is that you're working on, that's what your client is interested in. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what's gonna grow your business.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's, sometimes these platforms get dismissed early as, oh, it's just what the kids are using. But, you look at Instagram, Snapchat, they start off perhaps like that, but then businesses realize that they can leverage those platforms and use them really well. So, when the next thing comes along, like TikTok, it's not a good idea to kind of just dismiss it. It's, a good idea to look into it and see how it might work, especially in a really visual industry like this one. It's a godsend to have video platforms and image platforms that can help tell those stories. And just staying on that, younger people that are coming up into the workforce, Generation Z, younger millennials, the people, children today that are going to be coming up into the industry, just looking ahead a bit more to the future. They're really, really kind of familiar with social media and using it, and they will be using it for personal and professional reasons. And digital wide format applications work so well on social media, on kind of digital platforms. How do you see that impacting the industry in terms of being able to tell those stories with all these great social media tools?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the younger generation, those are your buyers now. Those are your clients, and social media is everything to them. And they buy everything off of Instagram. They buy everything off of Facebook. And so I will say, and I'm a millennial. I go if I hear about a new company, I go to Instagram. Like, I don't even go to Google anymore. It's just kind of ingrained in me. And so that's just something that you have to remember, that that's what they're interested in. And you're right. We are in such a visual industry. It amazes me sometimes when I speak to print service providers and they didn't take a picture of their final install. And it's just such a simple way to showcase what you're doing and what you can do for potential clients. For big picture, for example, we don't take any projects or any really case studies if we can't show the visual, because you have to be able to see what's done. And so social media, Instagram in particular, it's just a great way to showcase that. And again, with the videos that you can do, so you can do time lapses of installs and you can do behind the scenes of printing. It's just such a visual industry. So why not take advantage?
Yeah, absolutely. Adrian, it was such a pleasure to hear your presentation. I think social media is something that a lot of businesses need to get better at, and it's a great way to promote your business, but also to kind of network and stay in contact, particularly at the moment when we're all apart from each other. So it was a really useful rundown of something that everybody can implement, whether you're starting at the bottom or whether you're just kind of ramping up your presence. But it's a great time to become a brand ambassador for your business. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you again for having me. And again, you can find me on Twitter at Adrian_BigPic, or you can send me an email at adrian.palmer@smartworkmedia.com. Lots of ways to reach out to me, and I'm happy to help if anyone has any questions.
Of course, she's on all the social channels.
Yeah, that would be bad if I wasn't.
So you can find her wherever you look. And thank you for joining us for the Future Print Virtual Summit. It's day one, it's Young Guns, and there's more incredible sessions and a whole week of amazing sessions. So please make sure to catch as many as you can. Thanks again.